So the Fennec has just been added to Modern Warfare with the Season 4 update, and it's absolutely insane. This gun has a rocket high fire rate and incredible damage per second. Add in the minimal recoil, and the gun produced is a weapon of pure destruction. I've spent the last few days getting to grips with this SMG, leveling it up and figuring out the perfect setup and playstyle to use with it. There's been a lot of talk in the Call of Duty community that this Fennec is the ultimate SMG, a gun to finally take the MP5 off its pedestal, and I think it just might be. This video will be showcasing some Fennec gameplay, as well as my ideal class setup and playstyle for it. If you want to skip straight ahead to the class build, then go to this time in the video. Now, right out of the box, this gun is not perfect, and has a fair few weaknesses that you need to address. It's got a painfully small magazine of just 25 rounds, and you only have 2 reserve clips. Combine this with the fact that this gun shoots at an unholy rate, and you run into a few problems. The clip is only big enough to deal with 2 full health enemies in most situations, as, unless you're constantly hitting headshots and have impeccable aim, you simply don't have the bullets to take on any more enemies. The reload animation is also incredibly slow, taking a whopping 2.2 seconds to complete. What this means is that this gun will punish you for being inaccurate. Ammo is precious with this weapon, so you have to spend it wisely. If you miss your shots too often, you'll end up stuck in a weak position having to deal with a long reload. There's also the fact that running out of ammo entirely is a very likely scenario if you aren't running Scavenger. You've got to be accurate with this gun in order to avoid this problem. Spraying and praying really isn't an option. The other problem this weapon suffers from is very poor range. The damage drop off with the Fennec is very noticeable and happens quickly. Without any attachments, you'll have trouble engaging anyone who isn't right in front of you. Even with a maximum range configuration, this gun is only truly effective up to medium range. The silky smooth recoil does mean your shots are easy to control though, so you won't have much trouble staying on target. The problem is, you'll just need a lot of bullets to pick up the kill. In order to really make this gun shine, you need to address these problems. Boosting the range and extending the magazine will allow you to have that much needed breathing room when it comes to engaging enemies across the map. There's no need to compensate for the recoil as, to be honest, it's pretty much non-existent. This brings us to the class build, which aims to rectify these problems and strengthen the gun. For the attachments, we're going to be using the ZLR Sabre suppressor, the ZLR Apex barrel, 5 megawatt laser, 40 round drum mags, stippled grip tape. The suppressor and barrel are what will absolutely transform this short range SMG into an effective medium range laser beam. They'll allow you to tackle enemies at much greater distances, while the low recoil this gun naturally benefits from allows you to stay on target with ease. The drum magazines obviously rectify the ammo issue that can plague this SMG. It'll give you enough ammo to take on 3 enemies at once, as well as sustain hip fire for a reasonable amount of time. You still can't just aim wildly and hope to pick up kills though, as it still only takes a few seconds to empty this thing entirely. But it does make the Fennec much more forgiving, as missing a few shots doesn't immediately equal your death. Finally, the grip tape and the laser mean that you can regain some of the lost mobility you incur from the range extending attachments. Fortunately though, this is still an SMG, so you'll still have higher mobility than most other weapons that you'll encounter in multiplayer. This lets you stay on the move and get up close and personal with enemies. This gun excels at short range, so you'll have plenty of running around to do if you want to maximise your damage output, hence why regaining mobility is so important. Perks are as ever entirely up to you, but I would strongly recommend Scavenger if you intend on using this weapon for longer than 30 seconds. It'll enable you to go on kill streaks without relying on picking up random weapons. Plus, it relieves some of that accuracy pressure as ammo reserves aren't such a big issue. This is especially useful if you're engaging enemies at range, as you can find yourself burning through multiple clips very quickly. This gun really rewards an aggressive playstyle due to its incredible close range performance. Getting into tight spaces such as buildings where lines of sight are short and the room to manoeuvre is small is where this gun excels. You can always rely on the incredible hip fire damage output in a pinch, while the superior fire rate knocks out just about anything else at close range. Avoiding big open spaces should be your top priority, as you're definitely limited by range. There's no use for this gun in a defensive way, as it just doesn't suit this sort of playstyle. This gun wants to be in the thick of combat, rushing around and spraying down enemies in a hail of bullets. Once you've got everything set up with this SMG and leveled up to get the ideal attachments, you end up with an absolutely incredible weapon. Provided you've got the accuracy, this gun is an unforgiving laser beam at close to medium range. The incredible fire rate means you can mow down enemies who are close to you, while the smooth recoil and increased effective range means you can comfortably tackle enemies at medium range. You're never going to be able to use this weapon beyond that though, as it is just an SMG, and a short range one at that. But once you've learned the accuracy required and how this gun handles, you can really excel with it in close quarters conditions. Building your playstyle around this is what will really let you get the most out of the Fennec. Nothing will outcompete this weapon at close range, so if you're an aggressive player who thrives on rushing in and tackling enemies head on, the Fennec should suit you down to the ground. Focus on your accuracy and timing your reload smartly, and you'll have no problem rinsing enemies in multiplayer.